Not a soul. Well, one hears bells at Christmas time. I don't mean literally, but there are bells in the air, so to speak. Jingle bells, sleigh bells. One remembers one's childhood. Father Christmas, the angels, the three wise men. It's very hot for Christmas today. 105.
Must you wear that frock coat, dear?
Why, dear, I have a position to maintain as a Frenchman, as a businessman, as a manager of a substantial establishment.
In a colony of convicts? Felix!
What?
You don't suppose that bell means another sneak thief's been here?
Why are you so suspicious? Always suspicious.
Oh, you ask me that here in this colony of thieves, desperate criminals wandering around, free as air. Why, 3 of them up there repairing our roof right now.
Oh, my dear, they're perfectly honest.
Honest?
They're not thieves. They're murderers.
They are, those 3? On our roof?
Most of them are, so I've been told. They're excellent roofers, and considering the heat and humidity, extremely industrious.
Felix, did that boy ever pay for the harmonica?
What harmonica?
Felix?
No. He's a very gifted boy.
Well, he's out there right now. Go out and tell him either he pays or you'll take the harmonica.
Emily, please, let me handle this.
How?
It's a matter of bookkeeping.
Bookkeeping?
I'll put it down to overhead.
What?
In any local condition, one must be assured of the people that live here. Here in Cayenne, we have musically frustrated natives. They're starved for music, for food, for life itself. They have no money. What can one do? One must put it down to overhead.
Overhead. Those murderers are driving me mad, overhead.
Overhead is a technical, commercial expression.
There's someone in the shop, dear.
Is there?
Merry Christmas.
Madame Perrault, a very Merry Christmas.
I only stopped in for a bottle of chartreuse, you know.
I'll get it.
It's my yearly Christmas present for poor Ernest. He always buys me a box of biscuits. He eats them, of course, and I always drink the chartreuse.
I'll get it. Let me see. Ow!
You still have your workmen? I must say, I do find convicts convenient, cheap, and willing, and I wouldn't have any other servants. No natives for me. Take my Louis. He is a treasure, a perfect treasure, immaculate, and such a cook. He may be a bit peculiar, should we say, effeminate, but you know, it takes all kinds to make a world, you know, and he doesn't bother me a bit, and he adores Ernest.
I don't understand it. I thought I had a case of chartreuse around here.
By 2 ships were in.
Thank you, and while we're waiting, Felix was just going over the accounts. Weren't you, Felix?
I was? Oh, yes.
And as you can see, it's quite a large bill, and
But of course, you know what a scatterbrain I am.
yes, that's why I took the liberty of reminding you.
I'm very sorry, but I seem to be out of chartreuse. But I do have some cognac.
Cognac will do. How much do I owe you? Where's my purse? Oh no, I forgot it. It's all right. You just charge
Well,
it.
how soon do you think you'll be able
But
to?
by the way, how's the shop going? Better? Ernest tells me you're too trusting, too careless. People always taking advantage. People are such beasts. Anyway, I will take a look at that bill one of these days. Goodbye.
What a scatterbrain.
As scatterbrained as a fox.
Oh, I must get back to my books.
Books. Books. Credit right and left. Nobody pays and sneak thieves make off with the rest. Wait, it's Cherbourg all we brought from home?
Oh, that capital. I invested it.
Invested?
I forgot to tell you. There was a prospector that passed through here with a very attractive proposition. A gold mine somewhere in the West. You wouldn't understand these matters, but believe me, I'd be practical.
And all I hope is that Marie Louise marries someone completely impractical.
Marie Louise will marry for love, just as we did.
God help her.
Do you regret it that much?
No.
There you are. I know we've had our ups and downs, but it's not too bad here. The heat is a little bit trying, but as a businessman, I think of all the money I save on coal bills, and the heat is free.
Mom! Paul is here. He's on the Mirabelle. I knew he'd come for me. I knew it. I didn't dare breathe it, not even to you. But I knew he wouldn't wait a whole year. I knew it. Now do you believe me? Now do you think it's wrong to trust blindly, completely?
Paul's here, alone?
No, with his uncle. They're in quarantine. But Pa, you've got to get them right out.
Well, you've seen them.
How could I? I told you they're in quarantine. Uncle Henry sent word through Monsieur Perrault to get them right off the ship. Madame Paul gave me the note. I'll give Paul my room. I suppose we'll have to give Uncle yours. I'll do Paul's room myself. I know just how he likes it. He's not fussy, just particular.
Felix, did Henry write you he was coming?
Well, not exactly.
Marie Louise, did Paul write to you? It seems to me he hasn't written in months.
Well, he wanted to surprise me. Besides, Paul always said letters are so banal. I'm gonna get some flowers from the garden. Paul loves flowers.
Fresh sheets would be more to the point, dear.
Yes, the embroidered ones. I won't tell Paul I embroidered them myself. He'll just know. Oh, isn't it miraculous? Flowers in the garden for Christmas. Merry Christmas, Papa. Merry Christmas, Mama. Oh, Merry Christmas.
My two children. One I gave birth to, the other I married.
This is a terrible shock. You don't know.
What don't I know? After all, Henry has many interests in many places. This shop is just a trifle game to him. He hasn't come down here to... Or has he? Felix, what don't I know?
In some of his letters, he threatened that unless I reorganized drastically, but how could I? He can afford to lose a little money the first year and give a man a chance to get acclimated.
Felix?
You think a man who swindled me out of a first-class department store. Legally, I admit. A cousin, I admit. By marriage, still, I admit. We grew up together as boys. I have 2 days to give you. I will make a complete inventory and check your books. I shall then make the logical decision. Be good enough to get me off the damn ship at once.
Logical decision? Felix, is he going to close the shop?
I don't know.
Or get someone else?
I don't know.
Oh. Are your books in very bad shape, Felix?
Temporarily, just temporarily. I really haven't had a chance to check them.
We could always go home.
With what? And to what? At my age? Oh, God help us. What's that again? Oh, yes.
And that's not God coming to the rescue. That's just 3 of his wayward children who will solve all our problems tonight by murdering us in our beds. Oh, Felix. You should have been a poet.
What am I going to do?
Well, do? Well, you're going to do as he says. Go down and see the health people and get him off the ship.
I guess so.
Papa, haven't you gone yet? Papa, they're waiting.
I'm going. I'm going. Oh, thank God. Come with me. I still have you, Emily, dear.
You still have me, Felix. Don't forget your hat, dear.
Oops, guess who's been expelled? Guess who's pregnant?
Marie Louise.
I wonder if she's written me about Paul.
I wonder if this letter is poisoned.
Poisoned?
Well, yes, I read somewhere that poisoned letters were common in the days of the Borgia. The victim picked it up, poof.
Well, nothing's happened to you yet.
Well, no.
You should listen to her clothing. I read that somewhere.
Isn't that how you got here in the first place? Funny thing, there she was, reading, chuckling, smiling, and then out like a light.
Well, here's the poison. Darling, Paul and I are engaged. 3 exclamation points. Engaged in capital letters. Papa and Monsieur Trochard arranged it just before Paul sailed with his darling uncle. Darling Marie Louise, I know how happy you'll be for us. Happy, capitalized, 2 exclamation points. After all, darling, a schoolgirl crush is not love, as we all know. And let's be frank, that's all there was between you and Paul. And honestly, I don't mind, not a bit. 2 exclamation points. But I do want to save Paul embarrassment when he sees you. You know how kind, capitalized, how very kind he is. Do you want to hear any more?
No.
Suzanne Autebert. Oh, incidentally, she writes here that on the day of her engagement, her complexion cleared up completely. Now, putting 2 and 2 together, I should say that, judging by the quality of the stationery and the general tone of the letter, I should say that Suzanne Autebert is quite rich.
She's a bitch.
Well, of course.
Paul must be mad to turn this down. She's beautiful.
Now, enough of that. A person in your position doesn't admire a beautiful woman. Neither party stands to benefit.
I can look, can't I?
Well, get me some water instead, please.
Right.
Oh, don't be afraid, madam.
Marie Louise!
It happened while we were coming down the ladder.
Marie Louise, speak to me. When? What happened?
She fainted.
Well, nerves.
Shock.
Well, no wonder. Well, here, read this. Right there is the viperish paragraph. Believe me, madam, we sympathize with you. Uncle Henry's unexpected and unwelcome arrival, the fickle Paul. Oh, and she had such high hopes.
Did you hear everything up there?
Everything.
Oh. Darling.
Uh-oh. She's coming around. Before she opens her eyes, it might be a good idea if she sees you first. Although we know a great deal about her, she doesn't know much about us and might be a little shy.
Darling.
Corinne. What happened?
Oh, don't be afraid, dear.
I'm not afraid. Nothing can frighten me now.
Oh, my poor Marie Louise. I know what this must mean to you.
Please leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to see anybody. I just want to die.
Marie Louise!
Oh, please, madam, I'd let her be. Youth always dallies with suicide. We who live on know better. Alfred?
Oh, she's in no danger. Alfred's with her. He's as quick as a cat.
But she's so upset, so shocked. God knows what she might do.
Oh, Alfred's problem.
She's in her room. Nothing to worry about, I checked. No poison, no weapons. I removed these. Scissors, nail file. No sedatives, no gas stove, of course. And she jumps her window's only 3 feet from the ground.
Well done!
Pleasure. A real pleasure.
Oh, we disapprove of death, especially for young and charming girls. She'll be all right. Time heals all wounds. We're authorities on the subject of time.
Oh, good heavens, a customer, and at a time like this.
Oh, a customer is always welcome. May I? It would be a treat for me.
But he's not going to...
Wait on a customer? Of course, there's nothing he likes better. He can sell anything to anyone, and has. We make you nervous, madam?
Oh, no, it's just that
That you never had convicts working for you before.
never.
Our loss, madam, our loss.
Somehow, you don't talk like a convict.
Well, I wasn't born in a cell. On the other hand, I wasn't sent here for biting my nails.
Somehow you don't have the face of
Of a murderer? I agree. It's exactly what I thought when I caught a glimpse of myself in the mirror after I'd strangled my wife, madam. She didn't think so either, poor thing. She thought I had the face of a fool. She would have been right. I was a fool, of course. When I realized it, it was too late. There she was, all stretched out on the carpet. Her poor, thin neck, all swollen and purple. Eyes staring in astonishment, I'm sure.
Oh my God!
That's what I said, madam. I called out to him. But he was busy elsewhere.
Was she a bad woman? Did she make life miserable for you?
Oh, never, never in 6 years of happy marriage. It was all my fault.
Oh.
I came home from a trip one day, unexpectedly, and...
Unexpectedly?
Well, she didn't expect me. He didn't expect me. Matter of fact, I didn't expect myself.
Well, at least you had provocation.
Crime of passion.
Well, yes.
I agree. That's what the newspapers called it. My attorney was eloquent on the subject. But it was stupidity, madam. Black stupidity. Should have sent her a telegram.
She's weeping.
Oh, I must go to her.
Oh, why not let her weep, madam?
But I think...
Oh, madam, can you change this, please? Take out 25 francs.
What did you sell?
The painting, Madonna with Child, artist unknown.
The Madonna with Child? Why, that painting's been here as long as we have. Who bought it?
The mailman.
The mailman. But he's an atheist.
Well, yes, he wanted a bedspread.
And you sold him the Madonna and Child? That's a miracle.
Oh, no, madam. I appealed to his cupidity. I asked him one simple question. How do you know that isn't a Rembrandt? Besides, I couldn't find a bedspread.
But, are there very many like you in...
And the Bastille? A world like any other, madam. All kinds, all kinds.
And are you all so busy? Are you selling paintings and looking after girls who have fainted?
Oh, no. Pleasant things like that don't often come our way.
Carrying young girls around is an ancient family custom.
10 francs extra, madam.
Extra?
Oh, for the frame. A painting, after all, consists of 2 items, the canvas and the frame. The canvas is an intangible, a matter of taste, worth a fortune or zero, but the frame, oh, now that's the real value, an investment.
I'm a little dizzy.
Books. Oh, I have a passion for books. Oh, account books. Oh, Jules, did I ever tell you about the night I had to doctor the books of a company that presumably owned 3 factories?
Tell madam.
Oh, they were air factories, madam.
Air?
Well, yes, not compressed air, just air, for invalids and convalescents. Oh, it was a marvelous idea.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, it's quite simple. As you know, doctors often prescribe a change of air for their patients. Well, everybody can't afford the Riviera or Switzerland, so we had factories at these resorts where they bottled the air, just like you would bottle mineral water.
Oh.
Yeah, we had two types of bottles, the large ones that would clean the air of an entire room, and the handy pocket-sized inhalators.
And people bought these bottles?
Well, we never actually put the product on the market, but we had a large group of stockholders.
A very large group, madam, until the judge ordered a change of air for him. And here he is.
Yes, the judge, unfortunately, was one of the stockholders. Well, shall we run along?
I guess so. Alfred, come on.
What have you got in there?
That's Adolf. He's our pal.
Oh. Is he poisonous?
Oh, he's deadly.
We're very fond of Adolf. Last year, when we worked in the jungle, we used to have this guard that watched over us.
Oh, a most unfortunate man, completely incorruptible, spurned all bribes. A combination of brutality and honesty, madam, is unbearable.
He used to love to sweat us like slaves while he lolled under the tree in the shade. Well, one day this little fellow drops down from a branch right onto his red neck. Adolf's the pal. Well, let's get going.
Wait a minute.
Oh, perhaps you better go with him too, madam. I think the daughter may need you now.
Oh!
Alfred must have heard something. Did you hear anything?
No.
I didn't hear anything.
Ah, youth, keen ears, keen eyes. Alfred's always been the athletic type. Oh, my passions have always ran towards the mental.
I don't understand it. She's not in her room and her window's open.
And Alfred?
I didn't see it.
Oh, her window opens to the garden.
Garden.
The river's beyond the garden.
I must stop
Oh,
her.
she's been stopped.
By your friend?
Of course.
She's arguing.
I'm going to her.
Oh, it's too late.
Too late.
Yes, Alfred's won the argument. He's convinced her.
Are you sure?
Oh, Alfred has a striking eloquence, madam. Your daughter is no longer thinking of ending it all. In fact, your daughter is no longer thinking.
What?
I'm knocked out.
What?
What else could be done, madam? She had jumped in the river. What would Alfred do? Jump too? And then she would struggle, and you'd have to use the approved method of knocking her out before he swam back with her. Well, the technique is just as effective ashore and drier.
All present and accounted for.
Oh, Marie Louise.
She's all right, I assure you, madam, as a sportsman. Pulse normal, I loosened her clothing, and I pulled my punch, of course.
Your efficiency is monotonous.
I really find all this disorder quite confusing.
Oh, you're bleeding.
A scratch or two.
How could Marie Louise?
She wasn't herself, madam.
Let me put some iodine on it. In this climate, the slightest cut becomes infected.
Marie Louise! What are you doing with my daughter? You come back here! Police! Police! Kill me! But spare them! That's all I ask. Police! Police!
No, that's not the police.
Marie Louise! Your father is coming to defend you! Courage! Courage!
Please, Felix. You don't understand.
What don't I
He
understand?
had to hit her.
Hit whom?
Marie Louise.
Why?
Well, she scratched him, dear.
Are you mad? Defending this beast like a Florence Nightingale? And you! What are you doing with my papers?
Well, if you'll forgive me for saying so, sir, I find all this disorder quite confusing. Now, there is a place for everything, and everything has its place, but this is ridiculous.
What the devil do you think you're...
Please, Felix.
What?
Please don't leave before my husband returns. He'll want to thank you.
Thank them?
You don't understand what we've just been through. Come along. I wonder if perhaps a hot compress...
Oh, cold, madam, as cold as the climate will permit.
Thank you.
You know,
What?
that girl's as light as a feather.
Forget her. Remember, we have one advantage and one advantage only over other people. We can live without emotion. We can achieve serenity.
Yes, and you had better achieve some serenity pretty damn quick.
Seems to me that I've been searching for serenity all my life. Never really wanted love. I wanted domesticity. Serenity again, you see.
Oh, I've never really had any passions. Well, none except, you know. Oh, another customer. Should I?
Oh, go ahead. Enjoy yourself.
Just this once.
He really gets a kick out of it.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
What?
A home.
Oh. Yes.
Flowers.
Yeah.
This chair. Pictures. The evening news. Her knitting.
My husband has something to say to you.
My wife just told me I want to apologize for the misunderstanding. for my outbursts. Say, where's the other fellow?
The customer wants a larger size, a 14. This is a 12.
I don't believe I have a 14.
You don't? I told him I'd get one from back here from stock.
Stock? I have no clothing in stock
Well,
here.
of course you don't. I don't sell a piece of goods. I sell an idea. I'll just take this one right back to him.
But he's out of his mind. The man will know it won't fit. He can see it, feel it.
Oh, he won't see her feel a thing. He won't get a chance to.
But that's not fair. It's not ethical. Well, I suppose you fellows aren't concerned with ethics, naturally. That is, I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Oh, not at all. Some of us are downright crooked. Our world is just like yours, all kinds. Only difference is we got caught.
Yes, my wife told me, and I wanted to thank you. Well, I'd like to repay you.
Oh, it's not necessary.
Wouldn't dream of it. It was a labor of love.
Well, my wife thought, and I'm not sure it's a practical idea. In fact, I'm not sure it's not.
What'd she have in mind?
Well, I know it's impossible, but she thought if you wanted to and could spend the evening here, seeing as it's Christmas Eve and all that.
Oh, that's very kind of her. Very kind.
The soles fits him like a glove, as long as he doesn't try to button it. Oh, yes, I sold him some cleaning fluid for the spots also.
Spots? There were spots on a brand new coat?
Well, I made the spots myself. A little grease. The spots explained the bargain.
Bargain?
Well, yes, at the regular price of 27 francs, he never would have touched that jacket. But at the bargain price of 27 francs, he snapped it up.
Joseph, the gentleman has invited us to spend Christmas Eve here.
Well, my
Oh,
wife
an
thought-
enchanting prospect.
Of course, I realize you can't.
Oh, but we can. We accept.
With thanks.
But won't the authorities object, though? You'd be missed at the roll call.
They'll forgive us.
Oh, it can be arranged.
It can? I must warn you, we don't have any spare beds.
Oh, we're insomniacs.
And do you know what an armchair means to us?
Oh, Louis the 16th. Imitation.
Oh, and I must also warn you, my wife hasn't prepared anything special for dinner. You know how expensive fowl is.
Christmas dinner without a turkey? Or at least a chicken? Oh, another customer. Business is brisk.
If you don't mind, will you allow me, please?
Oh, by all means. I'll just coach him from the sidelines.
So who gets the chicken?
I'll get it.
I'll set the table. Pick a plump one.
One takes, but one fine.
Still here?
How many for dinner tonight? Let's see, there's your father, mother, Uncle Henry, Paul, you.
Actually, I'm not coming to dinner tonight. I'm leaving tonight.
You are?
Don't worry, I won't try it again. I'm going to the Dominican convent first. Then I'll see. The Mother Superior will understand. My life is finished. At least they give me a $7.
You want to sit next to Paul, of course.
I told you I'm not coming. How dare you meddle in my affairs?
Hey, I asked a civil question. I don't get it. A man travels for weeks on a stinking ship to see you, and you're running away from him. I mean, you're mad about this man. You don't want to live if you don't get him. He's here. He wants to see you.
See me?
Why would he come if he doesn't want to see you? You believe that's Suzanne? The fellow doesn't travel all that way just to prove he's a liar.
His uncle made him come.
Where's your trust? Your faith? How do you know there's a word of truth in what she says? And if there is, the marriage has been arranged, how do you know he hasn't come here to explain things? To make plans to disarrange it? To get around his uncle? With your help, your support, your Love.
Oh, no.
It's not impossible, is it?
Do you honestly think so?
Would he come all this way just to get his face slapped?
I wouldn't slap his face. He knows that. I don't go around slapping faces.
I don't know.
I'm terribly sorry about that.
Forget it.
You know, there may be something to what you say. He's come to explain.
Now shall I set a place for you?
Funny, I believe you because I want to believe you. But I know...
Give the fellow a chance. Tell you what, heads you go, tails you stay. Let's toss a plate.
No. I'll stay.
Mother almost lost a plate.
Tell me,
Yes?
I know I shouldn't ask.
They all want to know. Why was I shipped here?
Was it a political crime?
Politics. Women, yes. Horses, yes. Politics, no. I was never interested in politics. Anyway, I never held with the anarchists. I mean, what's the point of shooting one scoundrel? Another will pop up to take his place. So.
Oh, were you...
Framed? No. I was guilty as hell.
You stole from somebody?
Yes.
You were hungry.
I had just finished a magnificent dinner at Maxim's with a woman who... Well, I thought at the time she was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen. Well, we were friends. To keep her friendship... You'll pardon me. To keep her, I needed my stepfather's generosity. As long as my mother was alive, he was generous enough. I went to see him.
Yes?
I really went to see his safe. I knew he had negotiable securities. Jewels, money.
Oh.
Unfortunately, he was a light sleeper. He suddenly appeared in the library. He was a very imposing figure, my stepfather. Legion of Honor. Very deep voice. Old soldier. He roused the servants, called for the police. I lost my head. I killed him.
How could you?
With a poker, mademoiselle.
My poor Marie-Louise.
I'm all right now, Papa. It's funny.
What?
I can hope again.
Of course, of course.
He gave me hope.
Who?
A murderer.
Huh?
Oh, Mama.
Yes, dear.
We're going to have a lovely Christmas.
Of course we are.
We're going to be very festive, very gay. I shall sit next to Paul. His uncle will sit over there, of course. His uncle will grunt as he always does. Paul will be so tactful as he always is. Then we'll drink lots and lots of wine, especially his uncle. And we'll all grow mellow gradually and begin to laugh and we'll sing. And then we'll leave Paul alone with his uncle. And Paul will say, "You see, sir, our love is steel. No one can break it."
Yes.
The only thing is,
What?
they won't be here for dinner.
Oh, they won't? Oh, they have other plans? So much has happened, I forgot to.
Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't get to see the health people. I thought it over, and I just couldn't face it. Besides, they'll be better off on the ship.
Oh, well, in any case, we'll get our rooms ready after dinner. They're sure to be here by morning.
I wanted to see Paul tonight.
Oh, you'll see Paul tomorrow. You can dream about him tonight.
Not so long.
I know, my love. But, Paul or no Paul, we still must have dinner. And I'd better see to it.
I may be selfish, but I'm not sorry to be alone in the bosom of my family. Well, nearly alone. Oh, that reminds me. It's time to get the tree out. Oh, young man,
Yes, sir.
would you be good enough to open that box?
Got a poker?
Oh,
No, a chisel would be better.
in that drawer there. I suppose I should do something about that harmonica, but, oh, it's Christmas Eve.
Well, here's our tree. They got this one young.
It's beautiful.
Here are the trimmings.
It's France. It's home.
Uh-huh.
That lovely pine fragrance we knew as children in the forest by the sea.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you have a tree.
Oh, where on earth did you get that one?
Oh, I'll just return it.
Felix? Felix! There's a chicken in the oven. Where on earth did it come from?
Praise the Lord from whom all blessings flow. An orchid for madam.
For me?
A camellia for the young lady.
Why, thank you. Oh, I've never seen a more beautiful orchid except in the governor's garden.
Neither have I.
Monsieur Ducatel, the young man has just paid for his harmonica.
Paid?
But how on earth?
But he has no money.
Well, of course not. The young man wore a handsome gold ring. You get the handsome gold ring. Sometimes we don't sell, we barter.
But how do I know he didn't steal this
Oh,
ring?
really, sir? He made that gold ring out of a nugget he found himself. He's always finding things. Gold nuggets, watches, bicycles. How could you question his word of honor? Really? The reputation of an altar boy on Christmas Eve.
Oh, Felix dear, why not open a bottle of wine?
Yeah, of course.
Shall we put it on the table?
Here, let me. Oh, a real tree. A real Christmas. In a real home.
Careful now.
We'll place it here, tenderly.
Oh, I must get back to the kitchen.
Oh, no, madam, please. Tonight, we are going to prepare, serve, and cook your dinner. Tonight, we are your servants.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, I've commissioned our young minstrel to play us some Christmas carols. Oh, a Bordeaux. May I?
Oh, please do.
Color, perfect. Bouquet, exquisite. A 97, bottled the same year I was. I once organized a winery that was the envy of the trade, Chateau Joseph. Oh, we had no wine, no bottles, not even a cork. Oh, but the labels were museum pieces. The prosecuting attorney wanted to give me a one-man show.
Listen,
What?
he's playing Three Angels.
So he is. That was my wife's favorite Christmas carol. All the stars shone heavenly bright, shepherds marveled at the sight, and 3 angels came that night, clothed in robes of gleaming white, singing time. Christmas morn was near.
Look. We have 3 angels on the tree, just as in the song. Only my angels are a little shop-worn,
A little unlucky, mademoiselle. Damaged by the long journey here, bruised by unfeeling hands. Fallen angels, mademoiselle.
I don't care. I'm going to drink to my 3 angels.
Thank you,
you,
mademoiselle. Someone's trying to get in.
It must be the 3 wise men paying us the traditional visit.
Impatient, aren't they?
I'll look and see.
Oh, the old stiff in there! Where the devil is everybody?
Doesn't sound like the 3 wise men to me.
What the devil? Convicts!
At your service, sir.
It was so dark in the shop, I couldn't see. Neither could I.
Oh, allow me to introduce myself. I'm 3011. My good friend 6817.
Enchanted.
And my esteemed colleague 4707.
How are you?
I thought I heard the bell. Henry!
Welcome, good evening. Or should I say good morning?
Oh, welcome. Oh, I had no idea you'd be here tonight. No idea, I assure you. Naturally, I would have waited up for you. Paul, Mary Louise was expecting you for Christmas dinner. She was keenly disappointed.
Was she? And were you?
What, Henry?
Keenly disappointed.
Well,
Did you get my note?
well...
Don't lie!
Oh, Henry, I never lie. You know that. I don't know how I manage it, but I never do.
I asked you to use your influence with the health authorities, did you?
Well, with it being Christmas Eve and all that, you know how it is. I thought you'd be better off on the ship.
They said you hadn't been anywhere near the place. If I hadn't threatened to have them all fired, we'd still be sitting on that garbage scow they call a ship.
The heat was stifling.
A drunken cab driver was inflicted upon us. Even his horse was drunk. By some great good fortune, we managed to weave our way here without being killed. Only to be greeted by your retinue of servants. I congratulate you on your menage.
Menage?
Oh, don't tell me. They're not your servants. What are they? Friends of yours spending Christmas Eve with you?
Well, as a matter of fact, they are. in a
Well,
way.
what the boss means is that a good servant is always a friend. A bad one is bound to be an enemy. He'll not only ruin your digestion, he'll squeal to the police. Believe me, I speak from bitter experience.
Have our bags taken to our rooms.
Certainly. Emily has prepared these rooms for you here. I hope you forgive the primitive quality of our hospitality. Oh, and Paul, Marie-Louise has prepared her very own room just for you. I'll take your bags.
Allow me.
Oh, thank you.
Paul, go with them and be sure to lock your door securely when you retire.
Yes, sir.
I'm no more timid than the next man. These chaps look dangerous to me. I assume you always go armed.
No.
Well, I shall be sleeping with a revolver in my hand. Bear that in mind.
Oh, yes, sir.
You too!
Yes, sir. We clean, polish, and oil all revolvers. Part of our daily impeccable service.
The rest of our bags are in the shop.
Oh, I'll get them.
No, allow me, sir. Allow me.
Would the gentleman care for something to eat?
You're the cook, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he's very good, Henry. He prepared a chicken with almonds tonight that was absolutely superb.
You dined well.
Oh, very well.
Congratulations. I had a nauseating dinner. Chicken with almonds. Business is suddenly booming, I take it.
Oh, chickens cost nothing here.
Bring me some fruit.
Very well, sir. And you, sir, would you care for something to eat?
I'm famished. What have you got?
Whatever it is, Paul, have it taken to your room.
Sir?
I wish to have a word with Felix.
Yes, sir. I wouldn't mind some cold chicken.
Yes, sir.
Good night, Paul.
Good night, sir. You there. I have a suit for you to press.
You!
Yes, sir!
Get out!
Well, how could I resist such a cordial invitation?
Assassins!
Oh, they're not such bad fellows, for criminals, I mean.
Now let's get down to it. I've very little time to give you. I've some mines to inspect and some factories to look at. I've only 2 days here. Now,
Henry, it's late. You're tired. Hardly the time for us to talk business.
I'm not talking business yet. I've sent Paul off to bed so that we can dispose of this little matter without a lot of silly chatter. I suppose you're aware that Marie Louise had an affair with Paul before she left.
Affair?
At least I assume she had an affair. You're fortunate there were no consequences.
Good God!
At least I assume there were no consequences. You're not a grandfather, I take it.
What are you implying?
So, there the matter rests. You may be an idiot, but even you must know I would never tolerate such a ridiculous marriage from Paul, who is at this moment my sole heir. So, if you're dreaming of a return to France via Marie Louise, wake up! I don't blame you for trying. I don't blame Marie Louise. As a matter of fact, I find the whole thing very amusing. Where the devil is my fruit?
Oh, Emily. Henry's here.
How are you, Henry?
Good to see you, Emily. You look charming. You too, Marie Louise.
Is
Gone to bed.
Oh. Oh, did you have a good trip?
Delightful.
Was Paul seasick? He's such a poor sailor. I remember once he took me sailing and it wasn't really rough at all, but poor Paul suffered so. We had to turn right back. He was furious with himself.
You little fool.
Henry, the
There's
the
no
girl was-
need to insult my daughter, Henry.
I'll not tolerate fools, male or female. Paul's engaged. It's a damn fine family and a damn good business. I couldn't buy old Audibert off, so I'm marrying him. The girl's a cow, but she'll give milk.
If you'll excuse us, we are going to bed. Good night, Henry.
Good night.
Come along, Marie Louise.
Good night, Monsieur Truchard.
Good night, Marie Louise.
Henry, I must protest your rudeness, your insults, your arrogance. You had no right to insult Marie Louise and her mother. Marie Louise is a very sensitive girl. She's a good girl.
Dear, dear.
Henry, it's very late. If you'll excuse me, I'm going back to bed now.
I am not excusing you. I'm not the slightest bit tired. Now that I've disposed of the affair Marie Louise, let's get down to business. How's it going?
Well, I spent the first year getting acclimated, getting adjusted to the local conditions, so to speak.
And are you acclimated?
Oh, I think you'll find the second year a great improvement indeed. I overcame the obstacles and I now know the market.
You do.
Oh, yes.
How much business did we do last month?
Last month.
November.
November.
November has always preceded December. Let's look at the books.
I don't remember, Henry.
Get the books, man. Let's look at the figures.
I don't know what the figures are yet. I haven't added up the totals.
It's the 24th of December, technically the 25th. And you haven't closed the books on November?
Well, of course we have, sir.
What the devil do you know about it?
I'm the bookkeeper, sir.
The bookkeeper? bookkeeping. Congratulations. How much did you embezzle last month?
Well, our gross receipts were 32,417 francs and 48 centimes, an advance over the preceding month of exactly 8,327 francs and 2 centimes.
An advance.
Yeah, so our receipts for October were 24,987 francs and 47 centimes. I've prepared a chart, a graph, if you would. Oh, please, sir, if I could have you hold that, please. Now, you will observe here that in the first few months of business it steadily declines due to new management, conservative clientele, skeptical of anything new, etc., etc., etc. Now, observe here that in August, with the reassurance of confidence, Monsieur's grasp of the affairs, that the line goes steadily up, 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 and I expect, and I am a cautious observer by nature, a record breaker for December right up in here. Oh, I'll need more cardboard.
It's fantastic. A convict accountant. Charts. Graphs. Why, he knows more about the business than you do.
No, the boss has more important things on his mind.
Ha! Did you hear that, Felix? You have more important things on your mind.
Well, he creates policy, he guides, he directs.
Tell me, Felix, is it still your policy to extend credit left and right?
Well, no, of course not, of course not. The boss always says that giving credit to a customer is like making a gift of the merchandise.
You said that, Felix?
Well, no, he always says, I'm a businessman, not a philanthropist. Let others play Santa Claus, I'll play safe. Oh, hard as a rock, the boss. He has one God, and one God only, cash. On the line.
Perhaps I never really appreciated you, Felix. But I doubt it.
Wait a minute.
What about shortages?
Oh, inconceivable. The boss has an eye like a hawk.
Losses due to theft.
You should try it sometime.
As a matter of fact, there was a missing case of chartreuse.
No,
that
sir, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you that the chartreuse was delivered by mistake to the Café de la Poste. I forgot to tell you. I'm sorry. Oh, those wholesalers, they call themselves merchants. They have no system, no organization. Oh, if you knew the difficulties the boss had to contend with.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow when we take inventory.
Oh, inventory tomorrow, but certainly you realize, sir, that tomorrow is Christmas, a holy day.
Good. And the shop will be closed and we won't be disturbed.
Henry, please, can't we wait till the day after?
I have more substantial things on my mind for the day after. I've some mines to inspect. We'll look into everything tomorrow. And for your sake, let's hope it's all in order. Where do I sleep?
In there, Henry.
Good. I rise at 6. We can start at 7. Promptly. Good night.
Have you gone mad?
Sir?
Fake charts, devious graphs, preposterous statements. I didn't have sense enough to stop you, or the courage.
Well, the situation seemed to call for boldness and a little exaggeration.
Oh, it's not enough to pull figures out of the air or concoct these fictitious stories about the Café de la Poste. I must produce my books tomorrow.
Books?
What do you mean, oh, books?
Oh, we have all night to straighten these out.
It'll take more than one night.
Oh, sir, you don't know my system of inspired accounting. Now, the trouble with most businessmen is that they think of mathematics as a science. With me, it's an art. Oh, yes, sir, doctoring your books will be a delightful treat for me.
No, I wouldn't let you.
Oh, no, let me explain. Now, sir, in business, as in life itself, we have reality, and we have the appearance of reality. Now, you, sir, are a painfully honest man, but your books make you look like a crook. I want your books to reflect you, the real you. I want to paint your portrait.
Well, that's all.
Oh, now, for example, you might have drunk the chartreuse yourself, or given the Swiss watches to some poor little native girl.
I happen to be a very devoted father and husband.
Yes, but not in your books. In them, you're a waster, a lecher, a scoundrel. I want to restore your character. And in presenting a picture of a prosperous establishment, I want to restore your confidence, your faith in yourself, your morale as a manager. Now, armed with my books, you'll go forth and make my books come true. Now, with your cooperation,
I thought I'd find you still up.
Henry, could I get you something?
Just your books.
The books.
The accounts.
Yes, the accounts.
And don't say you'd like to do a little work on them. I'll keep them in my room tonight. I want them in all their pristine purity.
Henry, I'm afraid.
Oh, no, sir. I'm sure the gentleman will apologize in the morning. But if it's the books he wants, sir, the books he shall have.
Are they all there?
Oh, yes, sir. Let me just take them and your bag into your room. Oh, I must remind you that the fourth page is loose.
You don't seem to share your accountant's confidence.
Well,
Let's hope for your sake that I can say I'm sorry in the morning.
Sharp as a razor, isn't he? Not about throwing the books in the water, blurring the ink and the figures. Oh, but he would have caught on. He's so damn suspicious. Besides, there was no water in there.
I'm relieved.
Relieved.
Oh, yes, because I was tempted. I might have let you alter the books. And then I would have lived to regret it.
Regret.
Oh, I know you think I'm ridiculous, but I still have my honor left.
You do realize that something should be done.
Yes, yes.
Well, you realize that at 7 a.m., a tornado is going to roar out of that room.
I know.
And you're not afraid.
Of course I'm afraid. If you put me on a wild stallion, the fear of falling off would not make me a horseman. I don't know how to ride. I'm an honest man. I don't say that boastfully. I don't say it apologetically. I simply state a fact. I don't know how to be anything else.
Very interesting. You, sir, are a phenomenon.
Oh, you may laugh at me, but that's the way I am. I think I'll go to bed now. In fact, I may sleep. I think I may. For an honest man, I am a dreadful liar. I don't know how I can close my eyes tonight. I don't know what's to become of us. And poor Marie Louise. Paul didn't even ask for her. Good night.
What have you got there?
I'm bringing the young man his cold chicken.
It's a pretty small portion.
All that's left. Alfred ate the leg just now. He's not hungry, just malicious.
Now, we can't afford to offend the young man with such measly hospitality. Besides, he shouldn't be thinking of food at a time like this.
That's what I say. I mean, here he is under the same roof with a girl who adores him, worships him.
The situation is in hand.
What's up?
Will we arrange a meeting at once?
Huh?
Well, I just wish that I had a sample of the young man's handwriting.
Handwriting?
Yes, I don't, so I'm going to have to print it. My darling Marie Louise, come to me. I wait. I tremble. I pant. You are my adorable Marie Louise, forever and ever. What the hell, one more ever. Ever. Your Paul. Now, Alfred, take this letter to the young lady. Her bedroom is right behind her parents. Now, be as quiet as a cat.
Right.
She's not sleeping, I'll guarantee that.
All right, now you go and get the young man. Oh, I feel like Cupid.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, sir, but there seems to be no cold chicken left.
What a nuisance.
Oh, it wouldn't have been cold anyway. You know what our climate's like. And we have to blow on all of our food just to cool it.
Damn it, haven't you got anything else?
Oh, yes, we have a warm centipede with a lovely spider sauce.
What?
It's a native delicacy.
I'd rather go to sleep hungry.
Sleep? You haven't seen her yet.
What?
Well, you don't think she's sleeping?
Murray Louise.
Well, who else?
She needs you, my boy. She needs you desperately. She loves you.
What the devil?
Oh, she waits. She trembles. She pants.
Be young man. There's so little time.
Oh, well, here she is. What a coincidence.
Murray Louise. It's been so long. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think.
Well, neither could I, of course. It's been a wretched trip. Wretched. The heat and the god-awful filth. And Uncle Henry isn't the easiest traveling companion in the world.
Tell me everything.
Everything? Where does one begin?
Oh, and to think I doubted you for even a minute. But Suzanne,
Suzanne. Well,
how come I couldn't see for myself that you wouldn't travel 4,000 miles just to hurt me?
if you only knew how I had to scheme and wangle just to come at all.
How did you manage it?
Persistence, patience, tact. It wasn't easy, but one manages when one loves. If you only knew how I ached for you, hungered for you.
Well, then marry me. Now, here.
Now, here?
Oh, what does it matter what he thinks? What's he going to do? Fire you? Disinherit you? What does that mean?
But my darling.
We're young. We'd get along somehow. I don't mind cooking and scrubbing for you.
I know, but
You find something to do. There are the plantations. You could be a supervisor. Ride about in a pith helmet, looking very beautiful and ordering people about.
I don't know anything about plantations.
Well, you learn.
And this frightful heat?
Well, there are the mines. They're cool. You can manage a mine.
My dear Marie Louise, I'm thinking of you. Is it fair to condemn you to a life of this sort of thing? You're entitled to a decent home, servants, Paris.
That'll come later. When you become a huge success. It's something. Anything. I don't mind waiting. I don't mind waiting forever.
But I do. I love you too much to condemn you to this wretched life here. No, my darling, it isn't as simple as you think. But I have given a lot of thought, believe me.
At home you had to fight him alone. Here you have me to help you.
Exactly.
Charming. Well, Paul, since you seem to have so much excess energy, I suggest you expend it on something useful. These books, they're a mess. I want a full report on them in the morning. Go to your room.
Oh, don't go.
Sir, I wanted to explain.
Didn't you hear what I said? Go to your room.
Yes, sir.
Now you listen to me, young woman. Perhaps I didn't make myself clear earlier. For the duration of my stay, 24 hours to be precise, I don't want you to exchange one single word alone with Paul. Is that clear?
Guess what do you want? Yes, that's clear. What's also clear is you frightened Paul. You made him timid, abject, servile. How could you?
You're wasting your time. I'll not allow Paul to make an ass of himself. He owes you nothing. It takes two to indulge in these little affairs. If your parents had brought you up more properly, this wouldn't have happened at all. You did have an affair, I take it.
That's not true.
You resisted bravely. Be that as it may,
I didn't want our love to be so furtive and cheap. I wanted everything. Or nothing. I still do. Paul understands.
he's a man, but he understands.
Be that as it may, I suggest you turn your attentions elsewhere. You can find a young man, or an older man. Yes, I suggest an older man with a little money in the bank, whom you can hoodwink into an ironclad religious ceremony. Or if religious ceremonies are not of interest to you and the comforts of life are, your future looks very bright indeed. You're going young, pretty, with a desirable air of innocence. Oh, what the devil? What do you want? Are you all deaf? Well, I've nothing more to say to you in any case. Good night.
There's something I must know. I can't sleep until I do.
Yes?
I need to speak to Paul. Now, tonight.
Well, go ahead.
I can't go to his room. I want you to tell him I'm waiting in the garden. Please hurry.
Go get him.
Wait a minute. I'm not sure this is a wise idea.
Well, who knows? It's what she wants. She shall have him.
All right, go ahead. I'm not sure she's going to be grateful to us for this.
Well, perhaps she's just curious to know the worst.
That young man, and I'm pretty tolerant, is even more of a stinker than I thought.
Well, perhaps he's just being cautious. Caution is a virtue I've learned not to despise.
Come on!
Where are you taking
Get going!
What do you want?
We're concerned with your happiness, my boy.
What?
Someone's waiting for you in the garden.
Under the bougainvilleas, hurry.
Marie Louise?
Correct.
I warn you, I'm going to call for help.
Why, just because you've been asked to meet a lovely young girl in the garden on a gorgeous tropical evening? Oh, gentlemen, what has become of France?
I have work to do. The accounts.
The accounts? Can this be our youth?
This is sheer insanity. What the devil are you interfering in my life for? This is grotesque.
You forget it's Christmas.
What?
Well, you're our Christmas gift to the young lady.
You're mad. What can I say to her?
Whatever she wants to hear. Tell her that you love her.
You do love her.
Of course I love her. I've told her that.
All right, well then tell her that again.
Women never get bored with the repetition of this simple trite phrase, I love you. They provide their own variations on the theme.
Exactly. And now let her do most of the talking. Occasionally you may be called upon to say, yes, my love, and occasionally you will say, forever and always. Now, since it's dark outside, she won't be able to see your face and know that you're lying.
I'm not my own master. She doesn't understand that I can't marry her.
Oh, let's just live for this night only. Let's leave the future to the future. Now, I suggest you kiss her.
What for?
It's customary.
Kiss her frequently and tenderly.
Behave out there as if this were the most beautiful, the most intense, the most cherished moment of your life.
But is Uncle Henry awake or asleep? What if...
Oh, let us take care of Uncle Henry. Now go, now think of her for once. We want to give the young lady 1 hour's worth of happiness. And it seems to me like it should be a pleasant interlude for you also. You ought to be damn grateful.
Very well. I'll go.
Oh, bravo!
And I am grateful.
Oh, we make progress.
It's what she wants.
Women.
Don't you think that they ought to be chaperoned?
Chaperoned.
Well, she's overwrought, and they only have this night, perhaps their last night. The garden. The moonlight.
I'll break every bone in his body.
No, that is not the function of a chaperone.
What are you doing?
It's 2 o'clock, and all's well. Our dear uncle sits with one hand on the bedpost as if it were a competitor's throat, and with the other hand he's slashing away at your husband's books with a pencil. He must have broken 3 pencils in the last 2 minutes.
Where's Marie Louise?
Oh, she's around.
She's not in the garden with that young man, is she?
Oh, as a matter of fact, she is.
At this hour?
Oh, don't worry, madam. They're being chaperoned.
Chaperone?
Well, properly. My friends are with her.
Marie Louise!
Oh, please, madam. Why spoil the happiness that she's been dreaming of for so long?
She's only a child.
Only in your eyes, madam. And if you insist on looking upon her as a child, remember it's Christmas. And children want their toys for Christmas. Let her have her toy.
It's a very dangerous toy.
Oh, why break her heart? No, it's better to let her have her toy, and in the natural course of events, it gets broken, and she no longer cares.
If only I knew what to do.
Believe me, madam, I've given the matter considerable thought in the past few moments, and you see, madam, I'm playing the father to the child I never had.
Oh.
As I sit in this armchair with my eyes closed, I can imagine myself the head of this house.
Poor man.
We must see her through this trying time, madam, patiently. One false step, and she's lost. Go to bed, madam.
Well, I won't sleep.
Oh, you must. You owe it to her. There's nothing you can do tonight, believe me. We're here.
As I listen to you and look at you, I don't know whether I'm awake or asleep and dreaming.
Good night, madam. Well, how's it going?
Beautifully.
He's a cold fish.
Now, on the contrary, I'll admit that at first it didn't sound promising.
And then?
He sat there mumbling about his damn uncle.
And then?
And then they were silent. And then they looked at the stars.
Not a word from him, like a mute. And then he talked. Dribbled. He's quoting poetry now. It took him all this time.
Well, now, some men start slowly. Now, be patient, be tolerant. I have the feeling that if that young man were free to think for himself, one could hope.
He's a spineless flounder.
You're prejudiced. I say again that without his uncle, that young man would be all right. One man capable of so much mischief. It's ironical, isn't it? He's free and we're prisoners. I tell you, there is no justice.
Let's bring him to justice. Court is in session. Humanity versus Henry Trochard. Bring in the prisoner. Proceed, Monsieur Prosecuting Attorney.
Stand up! Now, do you deny the evidence? Hurry up, I haven't got all year.
Please, this is a solemn occasion.
Well, I'm in a hurry. I need another conviction. I'm ambitious. I want to be Prime Minister someday, or at least Deputy Administrator to Outdoor Comfort Stations.
I object.
Sustained.
Overruled?
I am the judge here.
I'm in a hurry.
Proceed, Monsieur Defense Attorney.
Gentlemen of the jury, I say to you that my client is no criminal. I say to you that he's a patriot. Now, he has done much for the beloved glory of our country.
How?
Oh, who cares? Gentlemen of the jury, I say to you that my client is directly responsible for the tremendous increase in our nation's birth rate. Now, consider how he overworks and underpays his many employees. Now, after a 14-hour day, do they patronize the haunts of sin? The theaters, the concert halls, the cafes? No! They simply totter home to their wives and enjoy the only diversion left open to them. Viva la France!
Prisoner, stand up. A stupid jury, which understands little of humanity nor of the world it lives in, has found you guilty as charged. Paul!
Paul! Where's my nephew?
Isn't he in his room?
He is not, and you know he's not. Where is he?
Well, if you really must know, he's in the garden with the young lady. Oh, they make a charming couple. And they don't wish to be disturbed. This is their moment.
Out of my way! I've had just about enough of your damned impertinence.
Oh, Alfred, I believe the gentleman's looking for something.
This, sir? I cleaned it.
Oh, we had to. It was in frightful condition. The barrel was in a dreadful shape. We removed the cartridges naturally. We had to. They were damp anyway.
It's the climate, you know.
Oh, frightful.
Very unhealthy.
I would never bottle this air.
Give me that! I've had just about enough of you damned convicts.
Oh, you have no use for that revolver anyway.
Oh, you have us. We'll protect you lovingly. We make ideal watchmen. 24 hours service. We never sleep.
I'll have you all arrested in the morning.
Oh, well, sir, you are a bit late. These two have been arrested permanently, and I'm in for a mere 20 years. Now, I know it sounds like a long time, but when one thinks geologically or historically, a mere flicker of time.
Murderers!
Correct, except for me. I was like yourself, a businessman.
You're a thief!
You're not very polite. I don't think I want to help you take your inventory tomorrow.
Don't worry, you won't.
Well, I've taken inventory with all kinds of people, but one must draw the line somewhere, and I draw the line at you.
They have ways of punishing scoundrels like you. I'll see that you pay for this outrage. I'll report you to the governor first thing in the morning.
He's going to see the governor in the morning.
60 days solitary.
Oh, or 6 months. 6 months in that hellish jungle. Now, I'm normally not a pessimist, but I say again, there is no justice.
No, 60 days solitary if we're lucky.
Well, only if our dear uncle would disappear, vanish.
Yeah.
He's human.
Oh, I doubt it.
I still say he's human. Know what I mean?
Know what he means?
No, gentlemen, I am not a man of violence. Now, anything physical is repugnant to me. Besides, I want to live.
Why?
Well, I want to know what tomorrow will bring.
I know now.
There are other tomorrows. Now, listen to me. I have a plan. Now, if you help me escape,
Yes.
well, I'll go to Cherbourg. I'll take on another name, another personality.
And then?
Well, then I'll go to work for him. And within a year, he'll go bankrupt and blow his brains out.
Doesn't sound very practical to me, your plan.
Always the promoter. Escape, bankruptcy, a year. I'm a man of action.
Just a moment.
You're not weaseling out too.
Well, no.
Let's go.
Well, just a minute. Every man deserves a fair trial.
Well, he's had his.
True.
How? That is the question.
Simple.
Well, how?
Adolf.
Oh, Adolf.
Of course.
Oh, an inspiration. Quick, humanitarian, and safe.
An accident.
Only too common in the tropics.
Here we go.
Oh, an accident is about to be arranged.
Let justice be done.
No, wait a minute. We can't do it.
You're worried about Adolf? It won't hurt him a bit.
I'm worried about the family. I mean, what will it look like if Uncle Henry turns up in the morning a corpse?
Well, who cares what the neighbors think?
Yeah. I'm thinking about the mother and the young lady. Now, Uncle Henry is found in the morning turning a terrible shade of green, and they come to us and say, "Did you do this?" Now, which one of us could look them in the eye and lie about it?
This is larceny! Why, you're a nest of thieves! Nice bookkeeping! Look at this! 14 watches missing from stock! 3 harmonicas! A 410-piece set of dishware!
Oh, there must be crooks on this island.
And the biggest crooks of all are right here. What's this? Something else stolen from stock, I suppose.
It's mine.
Don't tell me that. I know better. You convicts aren't allowed personal possessions. What's inside?
It's a snake.
Don't lie to me. How do you open it? I said, how do you open it?
Why don't we tell him?
No. Give it back to him. It's his personal property.
Not until I know what's inside. I'm going to examine these books very thoroughly tonight. Under no circumstances am I to be disturbed until tomorrow morning. And if you're contemplating any of your silliness, it's loaded. Do I make myself clear?
You escaped with me.
Someone should rush in there and warn him. Jules, why don't you rush in there and warn him? Tell him there's a snake in that box. Tell him.
Yeah, he won't believe me. He doesn't like me.
Alfred,
Huh? Were you talking to me?
maybe you should rush in there and warn him.
Why don't we cut cards for it?
Good idea. Who cuts first?
Not me. I hate being first. Bad luck.
After you.
You chaps are bum sports.
It's up to you.
All right, I'll go tell him. I forgot what it was I was supposed to tell him.
Oh, well, tell him that under no circumstances is he to try to attempt to put his hand inside that cage. Tell him because if he does put his hand inside the cage, well, he's liable to be disagreeably surprised. Tell him that there is a deadly, poisonous snake inside the cage. Tell him.
I better not. Remember what he said? Under no circumstances am I to be disturbed until in the morning.
I remember him saying that.
Oh, yeah. I would imagine that he's probably too exhausted from that long voyage and the tedious inspection of the books and so on to take the time, to put his hand inside Adolf's cage. Besides, he's likely to be more agreeable in the morning.
I'll tell him in the morning.
Well, those who should be asleep are asleep. Those who should be dead are oh, our young lovers are neither dead nor asleep. They're just halfway in between, as they should be. What are you going to do?
Well, just for practice, mind you. I'm going to write the last will and testament of one Henry Trochard.
Well, how's it coming?
The last will and testament of the supposed deceased is practically ready. One more sentence and I'm finished.
One more sentence and we're all finished.
Please, it's too early in the morning for any of your morbid fancies.
Well, anyway, you're enjoying it.
Well, why shouldn't I be? This is my masterpiece. Now, compare the note from our dear uncle with my sample. Ink, handwriting, perfection.
Don't ask me, I'm no expert.
Oh, I defy the experts. Now, there isn't a court in France that wouldn't uphold our dear confession from our dear uncle. Now, if I may, my conscience has been bothering me grievously of late. I have a curious premonition of death, somehow. I am writing this shortly after midnight and ask that this constitute a codicil to my will. If anything should happen to me, I implore my nephew, Paul, to restore to Felix Ducatel, my cousin, the Gallery Modern in Cherbourg, which I acquired by sharp practice. I could not face the judgment of Providence if this were not done. Paul, you are my heir, and I beg you to help a repentant and tortured sinner, I love that part, by making generous amends to my cousin Felix. Please, Paul, respect my wishes. Be happy, Paul, as I was not. Be honest, Paul, as I was not. Henry Trochard.
Be happy, be honest. Damn good advice to a young man starting out with a fortune. And easy to follow for a young man with a fortune.
I'm deeply moved by the old sinner's sudden repentance. It just goes to prove
What?
that there's a little bit of good in the worst of us. After all, he had a conscience.
You gave him one. A beauty.
It was nothing, really, nothing at all.
By the way,
Yes?
before you finish that will,
It's a codicil, technically.
well, don't you think it would be a good idea to make sure that the deceased is dead?
Oh, I have the utmost faith in Adolf. Just as I'm sure of the will of Henry Trochard, I'm sure everything went well. Oh, incidentally, we need to get Adolf back into his cozy little nest.
Well, as soon as I finish my coffee, we'll go look for him.
How do you like me?
Splendid.
He's got a good tailor. I once had a wonderful tailor. I think I still owe him some money.
Well, naturally, you were a gentleman.
Feel that lining. Feels like a woman's skin.
Why torture yourself?
No harm in pretending I'm human again.
You're an adolescent.
That's what my stepfather used to say. Grow up, he used to say. You know, I was thinking out there,
What?
it's all his fault.
Whose?
My stepfather's.
Oh yeah, because you smacked him over the head with a poker.
I wouldn't just be wearing Paul's jacket. I'd be in Paul's shoes if it weren't for the old bastard.
Oh, I don't follow you.
Look, that night I dined with Janine at Maxim's. Suppose the old bastard were a different kind of old bastard. A real father. Someone like you. I'd come and see you. I'd say, "Good evening, sir."
What do you want now, you rascal? More money?
How'd you guess, sir?
A girl, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Sowing a few wild oats, eh?
Yes, sir.
Well, how much do you want?
5,000, sir.
Well, you're only young once. Here you are.
Thank you, sir.
And then?
I'd find out Janine was a tramp.
And then?
And then I'd go on a long journey to forget her. I'd try this place, that place. And then I'd wind up here. I'd walk into this shop. And I'd see her. She'd see me. I'd wire you, my stepfather, have found The girl. We want your blessing.
Bless you, my children. All is forgiven. Come home.
Now do you see why it was all his fault?
Oh, of course. The judge should have given you the Legion of Honor and put the poker in the Louvre as a national monument.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, what are you writing?
My memoirs.
Oh, your jacket.
It's Paul's.
I know. Did he give it to you? You look very handsome.
I do?
Why, of course. Paul always wears clothes of such distinction and elegance.
Yes.
You look very nice. What is your name? It's funny. I don't even know any of your names.
Alfred.
Well, you look very nice, Alfred. And you are?
Papa Jules. And I'm Uncle Joseph.
Well, I'm going to Mass. Will you still be here when I get back?
Yes.
I wanted to thank you for, well, everything you said yesterday. About Paul, I mean. I was a fool to doubt him. I know he'll never love me as much as I love him. After all, only a small part of his life. He has so many interests. And I want so little. Even his uncle must know that.
No, his uncle knows everything now. I think you'll find he's acquired wisdom overnight. In fact, I think you'll find that he's a changed man.
He is? How?
Oh, you'll be late for Mass.
Well, since you seem to be so anxious to get me off to church, I'll say a prayer to St. Anthony for all of you, and for myself.
Done. My masterpiece. My magnum opus. Oh, the codicil to our dear uncle's will be discovered right here.
Well, we have a will, but do we have a corpus delicti? Now suppose, just suppose that Adolf missed him or ignored him.
Adolf wouldn't let his pals down.
I don't know.
Shall we make a small bet?
I'm a sportsman.
I'll hold the stakes.
10 centimes that our dear uncle is alive and snoring.
Take you.
Right.
I'll go see.
Oh, no, you don't. I don't trust you. If he's still alive, you'd bash him over the head. You go, Joseph.
Me? No. I'm squeamish. I don't like looking at dead people. It offends me. Aesthetically.
Well, somebody's got to go.
Will you go?
Oh, I like to sleep at night.
Well, somebody has got to go.
It's not going to be me.
Well, we certainly are making ourselves quite at home, aren't we?
I didn't hear the bell ring. I'm Monsieur Ducatel's new assistant. May I assist you?
I want to see Monsieur Trochard.
What?
Monsieur Trochard.
He stared at me so stupidly. I know he came here last night. I have a few things I want to tell him about Monsieur Felix Ducatel. The swindler. Here, taste this cognac.
Oh, you mean you want me to? Please. Why, thank you. Season's greetings.
Delicious, isn't it?
Well, now you need to remember the thousands of miles that this bottle has traveled, and the climate. Now, travel broadens us all, including cognac.
Really? How profound.
Well, now, I'll admit, there's a little taste of...
There's no taste at all, idiot. It's pure water.
Oh, water, madam, exaggerates.
So I exaggerate, do I? Read the label.
For window display purposes only.
Of all of the outrageous things ruining my Christmas.
Oh, no. This is the wrong label. Now, what company in its right sense would send a sample bottle thousands of miles? What for? Now, trust me, this is a sound cognac. I say that not only as a merchant, but as a connoisseur.
Are you mad?
Read the label.
Do you believe everything you read?
Assassin.
No, please, madam. No personality.
I want to see Monsieur Trochard.
Well, someone should see Monsieur Trochard. It might as well be you. Right this way. Oh, no. Right in here.
He's in here.
Oh, it's all right. It's not his bedroom. He's converted it into an office. Monsieur Trochard is famous for converting everything into an office, even his church pew on Sunday. Oh, no. Don't bother to knock. He might not hear you. Just step right in, madam.
And you're sure it's all right?
Well, of course. I mean, after all, it's very important for you to see Monsieur Trochard. The cognac was just an excuse. You've come because your husband is unhappy in the customs, and he wants to be a merchant again. And he wants to take over this shop. And you've come to help him get it.
All the stupid and inconceivable things I've heard.
Well, we'll soon know.
Oh, this is one bet I hope to lose.
He's dead!
What did you say?
Dead, madam?
I'm going to the police, and if you scoundrels had anything to do with this, you'll pay for it.
Well, if you go to the police, we'll just have to tell them.
Tell them what?
Well, tell them that we saw you coming out of his bedroom after your, rendezvous.
Rendezvous?
What were you doing in his bedroom, madam?
He told
Oh,
me
it'll
to...
make a fascinating story so romantic.
Shocking news! Noted financier expires in ecstasy.
Oh, a happy death, madam. You have nothing to reproach yourself for. After all, you gave yourself to him to help your husband. Your husband will understand. Your husband stayed up all night on the ships working for you, and you stayed up all night here working for him.
How dare you?
Oh, yes, behind every successful man is a devoted wife. Oh, yes, we have quite a story to tell the police. Shall we run along with you?
I'm not going to the police. I'm going home.
I just remembered. You have a bill. Quite a large bill. It's time you paid.
I'll take care of it.
Well, how about a little something on account? I'm sure you have a few hundred francs in there. I mean, yesterday was payday for the customs, and you have a model husband. Turns his pay right over to you.
I haven't any money with me.
Well, I bet you have. Let's look together.
How dare you?
What'd you say?
Nothing. I need that money. I have more shopping to do.
Oh, I'm sure this isn't the only shop that gives you credit, is it?
Certainly not.
Oh, let's see here. Yes, 300 francs. Oh, congratulations, madam. I'll credit your account. Oh, yes, and don't forget your cognac. Now, keep it at room temperature and well corked. I suggest you use a snifter and warm it with your hands. It will bring out the bouquet. Oh, yes, ma'am. And remember, sip, don't swill.
You better get Adolf.
Right.
You better use a towel on Adolf.
I'll handle Adolf.
Godspeed.
You know, despite his sudden repentance, I say the world is still a better place without our dear uncle.
Well, still, we face the age-old question, does the end justify the means?
Well, of course.
I wonder.
Well, my philosophy is quite simple. Now, if I perpetrate an outrage, it's justifiable, it's moral, it's even noble. But if someone else does it, it's just an outrage.
I can't find Adolf.
What?
Did you look in the bed?
Of course.
We got to find
I
him.
looked all over in there. The window's shut tight. He may have crawled back in here.
Well, we can't leave the little darling loose. He doesn't know who to bite. How can he differentiate between good and evil without us to guide him?
Maybe he's crawled off somewhere sick. Maybe he's dying.
Oh, it's possible. After all, our dear uncle was highly indigestible, even for a snake.
Where's Mike?
We're just looking for a collar button.
What the devil are you doing with my jacket?
Oh, the valet was just brushing it, sir.
Does he have to wear it to brush it?
Well, it's a quaint local custom he's acquired. Alfred, take the gentleman's clothes to his room, and I suggest while you're in there that you look for the collar button.
Collar button, is it mine?
Oh, no, a native product.
I can't wait to get out of this damn country.
I just thought of something. Maybe Adolf is in the rafters. After all, he likes trees. Maybe he likes rafters, too. Oh, if he strolled into the garden, we're going to have a sweet time trying to find him. Adolf! Eddie! Eddie!
Looking for something?
Oh, yes, madam, a collar button.
On the ceiling?
Well, like the other laws, the law of gravity doesn't always work. Well, if you two will please excuse me, I'll just continue my exploration in the Garden of Eden, looking hither and thither for the source of all our human wisdom.
What a strange man. Is Monsieur Trochard still asleep?
Dead. To the world. Oh, allow me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You'll be leaving us today, won't you?
Yes, all four of us, I hope.
4.
Adolf, our pet.
Oh, Snake. It's been interesting, your visit here.
It's been interesting for us, too.
I want you to know, I don't quite know how to say this, but I want you to know that I don't blame you for what happened. Oh, goodness, that isn't what I meant to say. About your wife, I mean. It may console you a little to know that others, too, have these impulses. Wild, almost uncontrollable impulses. I had such an impulse myself last night, as I was trying to fall off to sleep.
You? You wanted to kill somebody?
Henry, Monsieur Trochard.
Oh, him. You wanted to kill him.
Oh, I know you think me ridiculous.
Not a bit.
It's absurd, of course.
Oh, of course. No, you couldn't do it under any circumstances, madam. Think it? Yes. Perhaps even plan it. But actually do it?
Oh, Felix wouldn't even let himself think it. Poor Felix.
Well, why poor Felix? He's happy, and you're not unhappy.
No, I suppose not. Oh, I know that in a few hours many dreadful things may happen. We may be sent back to France, penniless, with no prospects, nothing. Oh, God knows what we'll do. But somehow I do find myself echoing Felix. Things will work out somehow. There's always hope.
He's right, of course. Hope is everything. Even we have hope. We hope someday to escape. Although we know we'll never do it. We hope someday for a pardon. Although we'll know we'll never get it.
You know, sometimes I can't help but wonder if I wouldn't have made a better wife for a man who wasn't such a child. Someone who didn't believe in fairy tales. Someone who depended not on others but on himself. And a little on me.
Men like that have no reason to marry.
Oh, but you did.
Me? I believe in fairy tales too. And when I stumbled on reality, I killed. You know what I was thinking when I fell off to sleep last night?
What?
I was thinking, well, if I had married a woman like you, I wouldn't be here.
More coffee?
Thank you.
I really don't know what's the matter with me this morning. I'm really feeling, thinking, saying the most absurd, ridiculous sorts of things.
Well, thank you for saying them.
I'm beginning to believe I'm the romantic, not Felix.
Yes.
I'm really not myself.
Thank you for this Christmas. It'll be a treasured memory. A man in my position doesn't store up many memories. And you, when you get back to your Brittany, to the kind of home you should have, all of this will be some kind of amusing story for a dull dinner party.
Somehow, I don't see a future of dinner parties, dull or otherwise.
Remember, hope. Things will work out somehow. Perhaps he'll work them out.
Good morning, madame.
Paul, it's nice to see you.
I'm sorry I missed you at dinner last night.
That's quite all right.
Such a strange valet you have.
Ballet?
Alfred.
He was standing on the bed in his muddy sandals, and he was staring at the ceiling.
he was searching for wildlife. He's a great student of nature.
Well, good morning. Where's Henry?
He's still asleep.
Asleep? But that's impossible.
Why?
Well, he never sleeps this late. He's always up at 6:30. No matter where we are and how late it was when he gets to bed. I'm sure he want me to wake him. He said he had a heavy schedule.
Well, why not let him sleep?
Because then he'll think that I overslept. Better go in and see.
I hope nothing's happened.
Oh, do you?
Beautiful day. It's only 104. Hey, Paul, what's the matter?
My uncle's dead.
That is a mackerel, but where the hell is...
Dead? Why, that was thoughtful of him.
It must have been his heart.
Oh, did he have one?
Felix,
I don't understand it. His doctor said he'd live to be 90.
Oh, he could sue his doctors for breach of contract.
I'd better go see for myself. I don't trust him.
I can't believe it.
I don't understand.
I must be dreaming.
You see, madam? Fate always arranges for the triumph of good over evil.
He's dead.
Uh-huh. No need for violence, no guilt, no remorse.
I can't help but feel guilt for even thinking that.
In civilized countries, thinking is not a crime.
Oh, I'm so confused I no longer know where I am.
It's so terrible.
I think I'll go to my room.
Good idea, madam.
I'll have to get a doctor to take care of the formalities. Paul, will you stay here, my boy? I'll be back as soon as I can.
Oh, I just heard the news. We've lost a great man.
I would never have forgiven myself if I deceived him last night.
Oh, you were right. Once again, virtue is its own reward.
Extraordinary to die so suddenly.
Oh, well, the Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away.
What a thing to happen. This is dreadful.
May I offer my sympathy?
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sure your uncle's death must come as a great loss to you. I speak emotionally, not financially.
Well, yes.
Yes, a great loss. Oh, well, there seems to be a note here for you.
For me.
Here it is.
Thank you. From Uncle Henry.
Oh, I wouldn't know. Oh, I hope you can forgive our little joke last night.
Little joke.
Oh, yes, in the garden, the bougainvillea, the bench.
No, it was very pleasant. Very.
Now, is that any way to treat a note from your dear uncle and he barely cold in his bed?
Let me go.
Now, all communications from the deceased must be preserved. Have you no respect for the law? All communications, no matter how trivial. Oh, and this doesn't look trivial at all. A voice from the dead, a voice from the grave.
Oh, really?
Well, naturally, I was so upset that I didn't understand it.
It's clear. It's clear to you, isn't it?
I had a curious premonition to restore Felix Ducatel, be happy as I was not, be honest as I was not.
Oh, cheating your fiancé's father, cheating the dead. Sir, you are a cad.
With all that money he's inheriting, he wants more. Swine.
But I have every intention of respecting my uncle's wishes.
Well, yes, now that we have this codicil securely in our possession.
I won't contest it, I assure you. I repeat, respect my uncle's wishes. If the document is genuine.
If you doubt this document?
What about Marie Louise?
What about?
Are you marrying her?
I don't see how that concerns you.
Now, sir, we went to some considerable trouble last night to smooth the path of love.
In this, as in all other matters, I will be guided by my uncle's wishes.
You do realize that you're now free to choose as you please.
Yes.
You're rich. Your own master.
Yes.
But Suzanne Otterbeer, whose complexion miraculously cleared up, she still attracts you?
Yes.
Oh, gentlemen, a strange thing has happened. His uncle hasn't died after all. He lives on in him.
I find this conversation distasteful and impertinent.
Once and for all, my relationships with Marie Louise are my business, not yours. I'm not free to do as I please. Wealth is a responsibility.
Get out of here before I forget myself.
What?
I'd like to bash his head in!
You can't intimidate me. I'll report you.
Oh, your uncle wanted to report us.
Yeah.
We don't like being reported.
No. I believe that the authorities have ways and means of punishing scoundrels. Like you.
I was going to call on the governor in the morning with my uncle. Now I'll go alone. And I'll tell him just how his convicts behave. And as for that forgery...
Forgery?
Suddenly a note appears a moment after my uncle's death. Suddenly. Suddenly he's repentant? I'll tell you what I think. I think that you concocted this little scheme. And if Mr. Ducotel was a party to this, and I suspect that he was, you may tell him that I'm going to demand an official inquiry. Handwriting experts. You may also tell him I'm going to have his books audited. A man capable of forgery is also capable of embezzlement. Now, with your permission, I'm going to pay my respects to the dead.
Shall we have another trial?
Now, please, not two accidents.
Why not?
Oh, we never get away with it. Besides, we've lost Adolf.
I'll do this job myself.
Please, Alfred, don't lose your head.
Oh, no, a very disgusting business, the guillotine.
He doesn't deserve to live!
That isn't the issue. Now, the issue is, do we deserve to live? And my answer, in my slightly prejudiced opinion, is yes.
At least we do even in solitary.
I'll do this whole job myself. You won't be involved.
Oh, you'd never get away with it.
Even if you did, we don't want to lose you. You belong with us. We belong together, we three.
All our work down the drain.
try.
We failed. We proved that virtue is not its own reward.
And that good does not always triumph over evil.
For us, Christmas is over. We stash away the tree, stow the tinsel, sweep away the debris, and complain vaguely of indigestion.
Call a doctor, quick.
What's the matter?
For heaven's sake.
Oh, what's wrong?
I've just been bitten by a snake.
What did you say?
He said that he has just been bitten by a snake.
How? Where?
What does it matter? It hurts.
Was it a small snake? It looked like a colorful little bracelet?
Yes.
Was it on the floor?
No.
On the bed?
No.
On the dresser?
No.
On the ceiling?
No, in his trousers in the pocket.
What are you doing with your hand in your uncle's pocket?
He was taking inventory.
Gentlemen, this is no laughing matter. Now, the young man has shown admirable industry and thrift. Oh, he was possibly looking for some cash that his uncle had stowed in his pocket. Possibly only a few sous, since rich men generally pride themselves on never carrying cash, so that others have to pay their dinner fares, their cab fares, and their tips. Oh, but the young man overlooks nothing.
I want a doctor, I tell you.
It would just be a waste of your money.
I don't feel
It would be a damn nuisance for him to die in here.
Of course, Marie Louise is coming home soon. Imagine the shock. We got to prepare her and her family.
What are you talking about? I want a doctor, I tell you.
Got it. The garden. We'll have him die in the garden. That's it, the garden.
Yes, we'll put him on the bench.
Oh, the bench is perfect. Off to the bench with you.
You're always sending me to that damn bench.
Oh, you're still here.
Yes.
Where's Paul?
Oh, here and there.
Is he very upset?
Well, yes. I should say that Paul is very upset.
I met Father coming out of church and he told me.
Told you?
Don't you know about Uncle Henry?
Oh, that one. Yes.
How awful.
I don't see why you should go into mourning, considering.
You don't understand. I say how awful because I should feel sorry and I don't. Why are you staring at me?
Staring? No. I was just thinking about what you just said. You might think that you're losing something when you're really not. Sometimes you can be in love with something that doesn't even exist.
What are you hiding from me?
Well,
Are you trying to hint that he doesn't love me? Is that it? That now that he's free, he doesn't want me? Is that it?
Oh, no, he wants you, and he loves you madly.
As much as you love him.
He said something to us this morning that you should know.
What?
Well, he said, gentlemen, he said, death has allowed me to marry my adorable Marie Louise, and only death can part us now.
He said that.
Even more eloquently.
Oh, if that's conceivable. He said, and these were his very words, he said, she doesn't realize how shy I am. I mean, how can I tell her that nothing in this world matters as much to me as her love? Ambition, wealth, poof.
For her, he said, I'll even dig ditches.
Or pick pockets.
Yes.
This is remarkable. He's so reserved generally, and he confided in you.
Oh, well, his uncle's death, you know. He needed someone to talk to.
Oh, when I wasn't there. So where is he?
I think he's with your mother.
Okay, please excuse me.
what's the idea?
There's
It's a civilized custom to praise the dead, and it helps the living.
She needed a memorial. She'll need one.
Time will heal the wound, and let her at least have a cherished memory.
Oh, yes, she's young. Someone will come along. Someone always does.
It won't be you, Alfred, unfortunately. It could have been, and it'll be someone else. She won't love him as much as the mythical Paul, but she'll love him enough.
The bell will ring, and there he'll be.
Oh, what a time I had. The doctor will be along soon.
Oh, good. He's got his work cut out for him.
Is my wife still in her room?
Oh, yes, she is.
I thought last night I'd be spending an entirely different kind of Christmas. Life is strange.
Isn't it?
Well, things work out somehow. What am I saying? I better go see my wife.
Well, back to the roof.
I guess so.
Well, I guess it's too much to ask Destiny to send along the young man at this precise moment, but still, it would have been neater somehow. Yes?
I beg your pardon, but there was no one in the shop. This is Monsieur Ducatel's, isn't it?
It is.
I suppose you work for him.
Oh, we do.
Well, I've just landed, and I have a letter of introduction from friends in Cherbourg. May I see him?
Pardon the question, sir. Are you married?
I beg your pardon.
Well, are you?
No, why?
Oh, we're just curious.
You'll have to make certain allowances here. It seems you've chosen a rather peculiar time to come along.
Peculiar?
Oh, yes. There's been a death here.
Two, in fact.
Perhaps I could come back
Oh,
later.
no, please, stay.
Have a seat. Life is short. Sit
I'll
down.
come back.
Excuse me. Why didn't you tell me Paul was in the garden?
There he is.
Oh, he looks as if he's fallen asleep waiting for me.
Oh, it's nice to know that someone is waiting for you.
Yes.
Was that Mademoiselle Ducatel?
Uh-huh.
She's charming.
Yes, she is.
Well, you're charming, too.
I beg your pardon.
You even look intelligent, which is more than we had hoped for.
Hey, sit down. Have a seat. Close your eyes. You got nothing to do but wait.
If I close my eyes, I'd be asleep in a minute. I was up all night on the ships.
Well, then sleep, sir, sleep. There's your lullaby.
Who's he?
The future.
Louise!
Oh, she's found happiness and doesn't even know it. She's only 20 years old and doesn't realize that happiness wears many disguises. Well, shall we go? Well, Your Honor, hasn't it been a wonderful Christmas?
Yes, it has.
Shall we do it again next year?
Come, Adolf.
and warning. Jules, why don't you rush in there and tell him. Tell him there's a snake in that box. Tell him.
He won't believe me. He doesn't like me.
Alfred,
Huh? Were you talking to me?
maybe you should rush in there and warn him.
Why don't we cut cards for it?
Good idea. Who cuts first?
Not me. I hate being first. It's bad luck.
After you.
You chaps are bum sports.
It's up to you.
All right, I'll tell him. I forgot what it was I was supposed to tell him.
Oh, well, tell him that under no circumstances is he to try to attempt to